This run will have randomized items and randomized fog wall. I tried to get randomized enemies as well, but I messed up so many times I just gave up. The goal of this run is to fight and beat the final boss of Dark Souls, Gwyn. I remember Ornstein and Smough being the final boss for me, but From Software says it's Gwyn, so I can't argue. Other than no glitches or exploits, I have one rule that I must follow, and that is if I happen to stumble upon a boss, endgame, mid-game, early game, it really doesn't matter, I must beat that boss before beating Gwyn. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into the video. Given that this run is almost completely random, I laughed at the Fashion Souls and named my character the most uncreative name you can think of. Then I started the run and things were looking pretty usual until I collected my Estus from this randomized body. Then I instantly got teleported into my sweet spider waifu's arms. Unexpected, but I'm not complaining. The damage is okay, and the boss isn't as crazy as something like Artorias. That didn't stop me from dying though. She started spamming the one attack that is hard for me to dodge. But this is still an easy fight, just took a bit longer than I wanted. Who would have thought I'll be ringing the first bell in the first 10 minutes? That's pretty lucky, just gotta get to the second one. Now this is me after I climbed my way through Blighttown with a stick for a weapon and the health of a slightly large rat. Yeah. I'm gonna have to do that all over again. So I made it up to Firelink Shrine and got a much larger stick in my hand. And after collecting most of the early loot, I realized I'm really not doing that much damage, so it's time to start the journey to become overpowered. I started that journey by going through Firelink Shrine the normal way, hacking and slashing my way to the Undead Burg that had a fog wall right at the entrance. As I've never fought Artorias, I was doing pretty good, or so I thought. So I decided to get some better gear, and the next area would be the catacombs, but my weapon was straight up ass, so I really had to be careful. Thankfully, I found the Crystal Halberd, which was a great help, but considering the durability is only 20 and it can't be repaired, I just kept the whole area to the Pinwheel boss fight while narrowly escaping Bone Wheels. And these two pieces of shit emerged from the darkness like Batman at a mafia's birthday party. Now while the damage is nothing to scoff at, I get 2 hit. And given that there are 2 bosses, it was only a matter of time. That was not gonna stop me, as the next accessible area would have been New Londo Ruins, and I am definitely not dealing with any banshees right now. Oh, and here's yet another clip of me being stupid and dying because of it. I call kindling my bonfire Quicksilver. You like that, huh? Well, it didn't mean shit because I had to heal after every hit, and before Ornstein even got to half health, I was already out. And even after beating Ornstein and quickly going through my menu mid-fight for humanity to pop, Smough just wasted it when he started charging at me like a fucking maniac just to one-shot me at the end. And I'm not even gonna talk about this bullshit. Yeah. We all know where this ends. So I ran through the Valley of Drakes and played with some drakes. Then I ran through Darkroot Basin and killed the Black Knight, and bro was so black he dropped the Dark Ember. Bro was a nigga knight. This is also when I found some actual armor that I could wear, and after scavenging all the items in the Undead Burg, I just randomly stumbled upon the Souls of Manus. This is about to be the boost I need to finally start beating some bosses. So after nearly dying to 2 random ass hollows, I found the key to the depths and some bullshit that I will never use, homeward boned out, and collected the Iodo. On my way to the Undead Parish, I figured out that Crystal Lizard's drops aren't randomized, so I don't have to waste my time trying to find them. After making it to the Undead Parish, I talked to Andre to see what he sells, and he was basically giving away free souls, so who am I to refuse? I popped some souls and upgraded some weapons before greeting our ironclad hollow as I slapped my long hard stick right against his face. I collected some trash and ran down to the gates to find the enchanted ember and the basement key a stone throw away. And after that, I saw my next fog wall, which leads to the Bitch of Chaos. Now, I was just planning to get rid of the 2 side eggs and coming back later, but after I failed this jump and died, I figured I should just go fight another boss. And this sword is absolutely amazing. I managed to down Ornstein, but Smough got me with a well-timed butt slam followed by lightning. Then when I got back to that point, he just kept spamming his run attack, but unfortunately for him, I know a secret sauce called healing, so he went down fucking finally. And then I took a look at the big booba lady to end off this section. The The first thing I did was to test out my damage and weapon speed with some other weapons, and the stone sword was looking like the best choice. So I checked out the giant blacksmith and started making my way to the Witch of Izalith to finish what I started, and dove off a cliff like a fucking idiot again. On my way back, I entered the fog wall and got teleported to the Taurus Demon's boss room. And after taking out 2 shitty archers, I'm not even gonna try to act like bro was ready for this. It took like 5 hits. I completely forgot about the Witch of Izalith and started exploring the Dragon Bridge, collecting items as I go. And my first thought after opening the gates was to backstab this Black Knight to see what he drops. But I already have a good weapon for the endgame, so I went back to the witch and got the second egg thingy and voluntarily jumped off. Then I remembered the middle collapses and went to break those as well. But I was so close, I figured I should just send it, and made it on my next try. 1 large soul down and I completely forgot. I don't need large soul. I used a humanity to show off those sexy goods and made my way through Firelink Shrine to the Undead Burg to take down Artorias. Now just so you know, I've never once fought this boss or watched anyone fight him, so I was completely lost when it comes to his Simons and moveset, and I'm sure that's showing right now. For example, I'm trying to decide if lock-on is good for this fight or not, and I always get hit by this attack. Nevertheless, I was learning and I started to get his Simons down. Doesn't stop me from getting greedy though, so I still died again. I decided that lock-on really didn't make a huge difference, and through carefully dodging and taking risks when I know he won't one-shot me, Artie Boy goes down. That was a fun fight. It's kind of like we were 2 mindless hollows duking things out. His attacks were clearly telegraphed, but they were also unpredictable, and that made for some pretty good extra tension. I take it that this is where you go for PvP, but I'm offline right now, so the fog wall on the other side of Artorias' boss room teleported me to the Great Hollow, and I pretty much booked it to the dragon. After joining the Dragon Covenant, because I definitely didn't spend 5 minutes trying to cut off a tail that wouldn't drop because I didn't know that you were supposed to join the Dragon Covenant first, I cut off his tail and got a dingy fucking hood. Useless. I decided to go to the only places that I haven't been, starting with the lower Undead Burg. And after clearing out all the enemies, I made sure to open the shortcut and check out the Undead Merchant Lady, and went to pick up some Demon Titanite that I will never use. And after entering the fog wall, I emerged in Sen's Fortress, and thank God it's outside. Oh shit. I made my way down to the bonfire, then realized it was a bad idea, as there is only one way forward, and that is the fog wall that spits me out in Pinwheel's boss room entrance. Now I'm wondering if this mod made Pinwheel any harder, but that can't be right because he died before I even finished talking about him, and there is no way I'm going through the Tomb of Giants for a stupid fog wall. So back to Sen's Fortress. I decided to backtrack to the next fog wall, and I wish I could say I kept trying, but after this shit happened, I pretty much just gave up. And now it's endgame time. So by pure chance, I decided to go to Darkroot Garden, and Darkroot Garden has about 4 fog walls. Upon opening the first one, I made my first encounter with the Demon Fire Sage, and this shit was easy. I know I'm making it look boring, but I've had to face this guy with a fucking toothpick. What do you think is gonna happen when I have a shotgun? That's right, flawless victory. Bro even gave us a reward worthy of the difficulty of this fight. So get this, right? I lit the next bonfire and ran down to the fog wall expecting something like Manus or Calamity. Nope, it's fucking Gwyn. And I am not gonna lie, the video nearly ended here, but I wanted to see if I could come across anyone new, so I wanted to find some more fog walls. And one of them finally led me to the Bell Gargoyles, but when I was there, nothing happened. I ran around the boss room and nothing happened. And when I ran back to the entrance, doing attacks and drinking Estus to trigger something, nothing happened. So I decided to take another fog wall, which led me to the boss room of the Asylum Demon. And my damage wasn't the best, but be honest, do you think I'm gonna have a problem with this boss? Now I know I said I wasn't gonna explore the DLC, but I had to take a little walk. And good thing I did, because I found a fog wall that led me to Femboy Gwendolyn. And before you realize, I no-hit this boss, or at least I thought I did. Just remember, I have been playing Dark Souls for a month. No breaks. So of course, this was easy. The next fog wall brought me to the Bell Gargoyles again, and then brought me to the bonfire after beating the Centipede Demon. And no, I can't walk on lava. So I finally went down to the New Londo Ruins and managed to carve my way to the first fog wall, which led me to Ceaseless Discharge. And I did the strat, which this mod makes him invincible, or at least that's what I thought, because when I had enough and jumped off, all he needed to die was 1 hit. I guess there's only one thing left to do, so I made it back to Darkroot Garden and went down to the Demon Ruins and back to face Gwyn. And while you're watching this boring fight, I want to talk about my top subscribers. Coming in at number 1, we got our Golden Boy, CEO of Cats. Number 2, we got Tevkane. And number 3, we got Antitsu. You guys are always interacting with the community, always there, even for my worst videos. And I just want to say, thank you. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. See you next Sunday.